Now I'm out here looking like revenge, feeling like a 10, the best I ever been.
Hey y'all, it's your girl, I'm Brianna MBA. I'm back again with another client tutorial. I really like doing these, so we're just jumping right on in with my friend Kiki. Thank you, girl, for doing this video with me. Just going ahead and priming her face using MAC's Prep and Prime Pore Refiner Stick. It's kind of similar to the Milk Blur Stick, where it just pretty much blurs out your blemishes and pretty much hides your pores and things like that, as well as primes. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony. And I'm just pretty much going ahead and outlining her brows. I just pretty much outline the natural shape and fill them in as well. I like them to look as natural as possible, a little glammed up, but not too fake where it just looks like you just draw it on and color it in. So I'm just taking light strokes, and then her eyebrows are pretty thin, and they kind of start a little bit further back. So you'll see me gradually extend the length of her brows closer to her inner eye. And I'm just going ahead and speeding up that process and doing the same exact thing to the other side. And I'm also giving her a slight arch. And I find it best when you use the dip brow pomade, just dig some out, close it as soon as possible because these pomades and stuff dry out. But you can use like oil to soften them back up. But I just find it best you just dig some out with your brush, put it on the back of your hand, and quickly close up the container so it can last longer. Now I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Cool Tan, and I'm just going to be sculpting her brows. I pretty much use a shade or two lighter than the client's actual skin tone, and I use it just underneath the brow only. And you'll see later I go ahead and clean up the top of the brows with her shade of foundation. And then I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade. I mixed the shades 340 and 335. And just quickly outline the top of her brows and clean up any outlines or anything where I might have messed up. And I will say, when you do this on the top and the bottom, you want to use less product as possible and build up. And then if you find you have too much product on your brush, just start above, a little bit further above the brow, and then work your way down to the actual hair on the brow so it doesn't look like a bunch of product is built up in a line near the brows. So now I'm just taking the rest of the Cool Tan concealer that I had on my hand, and I'm just using that as a base on her lids, like so. And then I'm just going in with somewhat of a buffer brush by Real Techniques and just buffing out that concealer so it's as seamless as possible. And then I'm going to be taking the Airspun translucent powder and placing that on top of the lids so for it to set. So now I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette, and I'm taking that shade right there, which is burnt orange, and I'm just putting that in her crease, and I'm going to be using that as a transition shade. That's a tongue twister, y'all. And so then I'm just going back and forth and just buffing that in. And just to give that crease a little bit more depth, I'm using the shade Sienna, which is kind of like a, I wouldn't say burnt, it's like a brick reddish kind of tone. A lighter brick red tone. And just deepening up that crease area. And outer V. And you just want to do like windshield wiper motions and circular motions back and forth. And the key to perfect eyeshadow is just blending. So just keep blending until you think you have the desired look you want to go for. Next, I'm just going ahead with some more of the Cool Tan concealer, and I'm just doing a half semi-cut crease to both sides. I usually set this part as well, but I'm going to be doing a glitter look, so I just left it as it is and went ahead later on with that, a golden type eyeshadow. But we're going to go ahead and buff out the outer V. And at this point, I'm using the shade Mulberry, which is like a wine red shade. It's very pretty, you guys. The picture isn't doing it any justice, but you can see here in the video the color payoff that you get. And I'm just buffing that onto the concealer just to clean up those rugged lines that we created. Then I'm going in with the shade Bronze, which is a very, very pretty gold. And putting that on top of the concealer where we created the semi-cut crease. Now, just to deepen up that outer V, I'm using Cypress Umber, which is like a chocolatey brown shade. And I'm just pretty much concealing everything together, closing the deal. Just blending everything to make it look as seamless as possible. Then I'm just going back in with that previous shade, Sienna, and just buffing out any harsh lines. A lot of times colors tend to get lost, so you just want to go back in and bring them back out. So now, to cover up any acne scars or anything like that that might show through the foundation, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Orange, and that is what you would use for any dark spots. And I'm just putting them anywhere I think that, like I said, the spots will show through. And then you just want to make sure you go ahead and set that as well with the translucent powder. Now we're going to go in with the NYX Glitter Primer. And I'm just putting that on top of that gold eyeshadow. And guys, this stuff is only $6 and it is wonderful. I used to use white lash glue, but I found it so difficult to remove my glitter. Like, I would have no makeup on, but glitter still stuck to my eyes. And when I found out about this glitter primer and that it was inexpensive, I had to grab it. And so now I'm just going in with a pretty gold glitter I got from Super Glitters for like $1.50. I don't know the shade of it, but be sure to check them out. I will have their website linked down below. They have hundreds of glitters to choose from, you guys. So I'm just putting that on top of the glitter primer. And it's best to let you or your client just let the eyes dry a little bit once you do that, so the glitter primer and glitter can set in place before they just flop their eyes open. So now I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Like I said, in the shades 340 and 335. And I'm just going to be placing that throughout her face, like so. And I'm using the Matte and Poreless. They have two of them like that, the Matte and Poreless and the Dewy Smooth. I like the Matte and Poreless the best. And I'm just going to take my brush and buff that foundation into the skin. And you'll notice I'm pretty much like buffing it into the skin, not necessarily just wiping it, because you want it to look, you want a more airbrush look. You don't want it to look painted on. We're just speeding up that process. Make sure you hit that neck and by those ears, that hairline. Don't miss any places, y'all. Now we're going back in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer and Cool Tan and placing that under the eyes for a highlight. You want to highlight anywhere natural light hits, which is under the eyes, the chin, Cupid's bow, and down the bridge of the nose, as well as the forehead. And then we contour anything we want to hide, which will be like our jawbone, our cheek, the inner cheeks. Y'all, excuse me, my brain, I'm having brain fog, but you'll see what I'm talking about. If you've been watching me for a while, you know where to contour. So now I'm just taking a damp beauty blender and blending that concealer on into the skin. I really love using kind of like buffer brushes and beauty blenders for this step because it really, really gives you that gorgeous airbrushed celebrity effect. That gorgeous airbrush finish. And then we're just speeding up this process. And I kind of squeeze my beauty blender. They have smaller beauty blenders too. I actually have some, but they were dirty. So then I'm just going in with the brush I applied her foundation with, and I'm just cleaning up those harsh lines that may have been created when buffing out the concealer. So now I'm going in with my favorite Sacha Buttercup Cosmetics setting powder. This is very good for people with deeper skin tones. So now I'm going in with the Patrick Star Spring Collection. I'm using the blush bronzer duo Take Me Home. This is so beautiful, you guys. You don't even have to add any blush to this because it just does the trick. And you can see the color payoff. It's beautiful. And I'm just going in on the jawbones, up there by the forehead, the temples, warming up the face quite a bit. Then I'm just going in with this big brush, fluffy brush, and cleaning off the concealer. I'm sorry, not the concealer. The excess powder. And then I'm going in with one of my favorites, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. And this is That Glow. And I just mixed the colors golden bronze and dripping in gold for this beautiful natural highlight. And then I just put that on the high points of the cheeks. Or the high points of the cheeks, the nose, chin, and a little bit on the forehead. And I love the Kiss lashes. I actually just doubled up a pair. I can't remember what style they are, but they're very natural looking, but they look gorgeous when you double them up. So that's what I did there. Now I like to go back and finish up the rest of the brows later, because a lot of times I notice if I like fully finish my brows, I end up accidentally buffing over it with like the concealer, with the beauty blender or whatever, and then the front of the brows go missing. So I like to go in later on, and I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills. If you can't already tell, I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm using their Brow Wiz pencil in the shade Granite. It's a dark shade, but I always use it lightly so you can't even tell. And I'm just doing some light hairbrush strokes towards the front to give it that natural effect. And then I'm just using the rest of that ebony dip brow. And I squeeze my angle brush very tightly so that it can create those thin hairs as well. And you guys, that does take a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged if you can't do it. And then we're going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel to seal in those gorgeous popping brows. Moving on to lips, MAC Lip Liner in Chestnut, my all-time favorite lip liner. I've tried other brands, cheaper brands. I cannot find anything that satisfies me with this shade of brown. So we're going in and lining her lips, fading out the corners to get that ombre effect. And then I'm just going in with a nude lippy I got from TJ Maxx in a set of 6 like nude liquid lipsticks. You can use any nude, pink, red, whatever. This look will definitely pop with pretty much any shade. And I'm just taking the other end of my Q-tip and kind of buffing out that color so we don't get that 90s effect with the lip liner. Now I'm going in with the Patrick Star lip glass from the Miso Chic collection. And there is Mama Star Kisses. It's very gorgeous. It's a neutral lip gloss. I love MAC lip glosses. Now I'm just going in just to clean up her contour that we did earlier. I'm just taking a little bit of the Sacha Buttercup and I'm just going in and cleaning up that contour like so. And I just let it sit for a few seconds. I don't leave it on long. A few seconds is enough. You don't want to let that bake too long because sometimes when you do that, you actually see the lining from where you clean it up. And now I'm just going in and warming up underneath her waterline. I think I'm using the mulberry shade and just buffing that under the eye like so. And just wiping off that excess powder. And then you want to make sure you use some eyeliner too, which I believe I did already at this point, bottom liner. And then I'm just using some mascara to make those bottom lashes pop. You want to make sure you blend in their natural lashes with the falsies. And then for top liner, I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Liquid Lash Liner. And it's just a black shade, but it lasts a very long time and it gives you that jet black look. I know there's a lot of liners that I use and they look kind of like a gray black, but this one is jet black. And this pretty much just sums up this beautiful look. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you want to see more videos like this, just please let me know below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and thumbs up this video and hit that bell, you guys. Love you all. See you in the next video.